friends, hello. My name is Melissa and I am an interior designer based in Seattle, Washington. I thought I would make a really fun video today that kind of gives you an inside look at what I wish that I would have learned during getting my bachelor's degree in interior design, and what I have realized now while working in the industry and my experience working throughout my entire degree. So let's get started. So one thing interior design school never taught me or prepared me for, which I wish I would have known, was that interior design is really sales focused. Just like most other professions, there's always going to be at the end of the day a business need, and you need to be profitable. So a lot of what I think most interior designers do, and it can look different in the different types of positions or roles that you have, is that you need to be profitable. You might have sales goals to hit in whatever job you end up taking on. So that's something that I wish that I would have known prior, that to be a successful interior designer, you have to be a good salesperson. You have to have those people skills in order to really connect with your customer and also really drive that sale home. The more profitable you are, the more sales you have, the more you can grow that business for yourself or the design business or what have you that you're working for. So it's very, very important that you are successful at sales. And like most of us, I think, a natural ability to sell doesn't always come. So I would highly, highly recommend, if it is available to you through your program, potentially taking a couple business courses, especially if they fit as electives into your degree. Highly recommend that, because on a day-to-day basis, you really are going to be working with numbers and data and sales quotas that you're going to really have to be focused on. And so, yeah, that's one thing that I really wish that I would have known. So one thing that I wish that I had known prior to even beginning my interior design degree was how much time interior designers spend on the computer. Roughly about 90% of your time as an interior designer will be spent on a computer, if not more. It really depends on what kind of job you have. On a day-to-day basis, much of the time spent designing, sending emails, creating timelines, everything is done on a computer. And so having a computer and a system that you like, and doing that day in and day out is really what will be the standard, the norm, once you are working in an interior design role. Interior design requires actually a ton of people skills. You are absolutely dealing with people day in and day out. And while the perception of an interior designer might be that you're creating these beautiful spaces and you're in a workshop somewhere putting together items, but really a lot of the job is quite collaborative, whether you are engaging with your customers, whether that be setting up timelines with a project manager and doing construction planning, executing those things. You are maybe even in some roles being that construction project manager yourself, which often happens. So you're the one who's going to be contacting the plumber, the electrician, relaying realistic timelines to your customer. And then aside from the front-facing, actual building side of interior design, you also have the general, the office tasks. So you might be working at a design firm where you have a manager, an operations manager who you report to, or a more senior designer, or potentially an architect, or drafts people who build the plans, or you might be the ones who are creating these plans. And so there's always this flow and this mix that really come together. Very rarely, I think, as a designer, are you siloed and you don't work collaboratively. I think for the most part, designers really do work with a mix of a variety of people. Interior design positions as soon as possible. I think that there's a misconception that you need to have a degree before you can actually get into the interior design industry. I know that there are some states that do require a certification before actually becoming a full-fledged interior designer, so make sure to look into your state's laws and regulations regarding that. But even, I believe, in those states, there are certain roles or tasks you can do that will kind of get you a leg up when it comes to getting a job and having a good job lined up for when you graduate, or if you're already in one, that will put you head and shoulders above your peers. And really, just while you're in school, to be able to have that really unique hands-on experience with interior design is so critical. An advantage that really you should be leveraging if you absolutely can. And I know it might be daunting to try and go out and apply at those first few places to put yourself out there in those ways, but I promise it really does pay off to absolutely get in. And so for me, the misconception was that a lot of my peers, my classmates, thought that you really did have to wait until you graduated to be a full-fledged interior designer. Do not let the fact that you are green and have no experience stop you from going out and getting that first job, because it really does help you advance, and absolutely, it's the best thing to do. I would like to discuss how much you actually will be making as an interior designer. So this is something that is not going to be the same case in, it varies from company to company, from person to person, from city to city, state to state, country to country. It is something that it really depends on so many factors. And so what I'm going to be discussing is going to be general salaries that would apply to interior designers living in the United States. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up was that while getting my interior design degree, nowhere in that entire time that I was there for my bachelor's was compensation discussed. And so it's really interesting because it's sort of always this taboo topic, but I do think it's really important. In April of 2020, interior designers at an average make between $41,000 a year to $53,000 a year. Now, that may be a lot of money to you, that may be not a lot of money to you. It really, again, depends. And this, again, is a national average pulled from statistics and salary reporting across all sorts of places in the United States. So that's just kind of a general guideline of what you could potentially expect to make. You might not even, be able to jump directly into a position that pays that much. And so since that is the median, that kind of leads us to believe that that might be a couple of years down the line. When you're green in an entry-level position, you might need to work up to those numbers. Or again, if you're lucky and live maybe in a larger city, you could surpass those and, you know, with any luck, go far beyond. That would honestly be my hope for everyone. But I think it's important to be very realistic that, you know, the first day that you go and become an interior designer, you're probably not going to become an instant millionaire. And so it's important to consider this, whether you are considering getting into the profession in general, or you are already pursuing it, or you're already in your career and you're just kind of curious as to what others are making. That's kind of just a general guideline. Those are my tips for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I would love to continue doing more videos like this if you guys found it helpful or interesting. Please go ahead and let me know if you have other questions surrounding, you know, how I got a job, the different types of interior design roles that you could have, you know, maybe more in-depth college experience. I would love to create those videos for you. Please just let me know in the comments down below, and if you can, just give this a thumbs up. Really helps out. Thanks so much, everybody. Until next time.